All right. Hello, everybody. And I apologize for the late start here, but we wanted to give people a chance to flood in here. And I see that we've got a lot of people that are still going, but you know, you guys showed up on time, so we don't want to make you wait because others were late. So we couldn't be more excited about what we're going to cover today. A lot of people are coming in here and hearing about Better and Better Income for the first time, and Elevate is really going to be a great opportunity for you to learn about what we do as a company. But for everyone who's already with us, you know, we couldn't be more excited to have you in here. You're going to see some of the great things that we've been up to in the later part. The first, call it 15, 20 minutes, even really going into our first two guests. Anyone who's here just learning about Better and learning about Elevate, you will want to stick around for this piece because you're gonna hear some people who have built a life that most of us really would be very excited if we achieved what they've achieved in their life. So if you're here as a guest with us, stick around for, call it, the first three speakers at least. And if you have other things you need to tend to, we get it. It's the middle of the day on a Wednesday, and we appreciate that you're here with us. But we'll dive right in, and I'm gonna start off by kind of covering what it is that we do as Better. All right. So give me 2 seconds here. I'm gonna share my screen, and then we will dive in. Okay. Okay. And I'm going to pull up this little presentation here for everybody. Okay, here, somebody give me a thumbs up. Okay, perfect. So everyone here can see my screen. Okay, so for starters, I want you guys to really have, by the end of this short, call it 10-minute overview, I really want you to understand what Better is, because especially the guys who are familiar with Better, it's helped a lot of people take their business life to another level. We all run into the challenge today of how do we really expand what we're already doing without losing the essence of our core focus? A lot of people in this call are business professionals. Maybe you're in the financial industry, or maybe you're a realtor. You could be in commercial P&C. Whatever area that you are in, you obviously have a core focus. And Better is something that, again, you'll see this through the course of what we're going to cover here. Better is really a plug and play method of expanding into other areas where you can provide further value to people you already interact with, whether they're business owners or maybe their families. But Better's a great way for you to add value to them. So let's talk about Better Income, which is really, the key focus of what we're really diving into here. Better Income is a plug-and-play distribution platform focused on empowering businesses and families with a suite of impactful services that really make a difference. What we want you to understand is we've done everything within our power to make it a simple and easy process for you to make a quality referral and have our platform and our partners really handle servicing that client. Again, you focus on whatever it is you focus on. Maybe let's say you do commercial P&C. You help your clients with their property and casualty. You do an excellent job servicing them in that regard. We don't want you to get distracted by servicing your clients with another service, but we do want you to be able to easily add further value. So why would you work with Better Income? The first and most important thing is we keep it very simple. 90% of the products on the Better platform require no license of any kind. There's really not even much that you have to do to get started. We have people in Better Income right now. Again, let's say they're in the financial industry. They're focusing every day on their financial services business. And with 10, 20, 30 minutes of training, they're able to add another service to what they're already doing. That's extremely powerful. Everyone's extremely busy. You're focused on expanding your business. We don't want you to have to lose focus to really expand your services that you're doing. So, as an example of that, we have business professionals that are already working with us in real estate, insurance, investment professionals. Again, I mentioned commercial and individual P&C, mortgage brokers, marketing professionals, business consultants, attorneys, accountants. All of these are people, these are all industries that we already have individuals working with us to expand and augment what they're doing. And the great thing is some of these guys, and you're going to hear from some of them today, we have individuals who work in the investment industry, and they've added $250,000 in extra income that goes right to them for providing amazing, valuable services already today. So these are just a short list of some of the areas that we already work with people in. But Better really has two focuses, and this is kind of key. That first focus would be direct to consumer. A lot of you are already sitting down with families and helping them, whether it is find a home or, have a better life in the sense of a better financial picture. Whatever it is that you're doing in that regard, we're able to help you add services that focus on things, an area that you're already focused on. But a lot of you also focus on servicing businesses. Maybe you again, I've used commercial P&C as a couple examples, but we have people who are business consultants that are already sitting down and providing advice to a business. Well, you can add certain services that make your operations more profitable, but more important, you're adding more value to that customer, which is really the important piece to all of this. We have a number of solutions on this. We have, a great company that we work with that is able to provide on the business to business side. So meaning business owners, companies all the way at the low end of maybe 1-2 employees, all the way up to hundreds of employees. We have services. We have Clearwater that helps provide service for them on that healthcare side. We have a number of companies that we work with that provide a wide array of credits that help individuals and businesses. There are a lot of stimulus programs that were put out in the last couple years, and there's some amazing ones that are available to businesses. You're going to get a chance, if you stick around a little bit, to hear from some of these providers as well. Let's Chat is a absolutely revolutionary service that makes it so someone is able to actually communicate to all walks of life, be it, they don't speak English at all. Maybe they speak only Spanish, or they speak Thai, or whatever it is. Let's Chat can help a company expand their reach into 104 other languages and do it in a seamless fashion. So there's some amazing B2B solutions. And again, this is really just the tip of the iceberg of examples that we're able to, of things we're easily able to add to what you're already doing right now. On the direct-to-consumer side, again, we have different companies that help someone with the largest pain points that a family or an individual is running into today. The health crisis in this country, the healthcare crisis, is something that leads to more bankruptcies in this country than any other industry. And then we have partners like Prosperity Financial. Prosperity is out there every single day fighting against the largest problem, which would be consumer debt. Individual families are being set up to fail, really, with the systems that are out there today. And sometimes when they get a little bit out of their ability to handle the debt that they're in, they do need to be put on the right path. And we have solutions for that as well. And as an example, if you're a financial professional and you're going out there helping families, these are some of the biggest challenges that keep your client maybe from going forward with investments, or maybe they need to get better coverage and you're an insurance professional. Well, if you don't address the debt that someone has, or handle what would be more than likely one of their biggest expenses in healthcare and help them reduce that cost while still having good coverage, if you're able to handle those pieces for someone, you're able to actually help them do better things with the money that they are making. LBA is, we have a massive opportunity that's been around for a while, but something that I don't think a lot of people really focus on, which is every single year, we have countless people who are turning 65 and need to actually get enrolled in something called Medicare Advantage. Gabe is going to be on a little bit later to talk a little bit more about that, but this is an excellent opportunity for you to be able to service individuals that you're already coming in contact with. And some of the options and things that are available in that regard are very plug and play. So all of these are, again, direct to consumer focused, but you're able to add these to what you're already doing with clients that you're already working with. And again, I'm sure some of you out there are sitting there going, well, I just work a job. I haven't dove into anything entrepreneurial. I am not a professional yet in some area. Guys, we have enough going on in this company too, that this could, for you, be a great core focus, because the successes you'll hear from some of the affiliates that we have on our platform already and some of the product partners, you will see the amazing value that we're able to provide for the consumer, and also some of the absolutely amazing income that some people already are making. We have countless people who are making money that I know that I've been in that position where, you're not making the kind of money you want to make. Adding some of the income that some of our representatives and some of our affiliates are already making, it really could change lives. So we're excited for you to hear some of the bits and pieces about that a little bit later. So again, what I want you to understand is it's all about also the way we structure things. We have an endless supply of resources and tools that make it so when you're looking to add something to your existing operations, you don't have to go hunting around. You don't have to go make marketing pieces. You don't have to shoot videos. We've already compiled all of these pieces and resources together in one place. We have there you go. I'm cutting right into my next piece. We have tons of tools and resources. Perfect. Okay. Next, we have sales pages and sales resources that make it so you're able to educate your clients in the areas that they really could see benefit without having to be, you don't have to have all of the information jammed into your head. You already, again, have a core focus. We're going to provide you resources, sales pages that help your clients understand really what would be a good fit for them already. And then there's flawless. I don't want to say flawless, but we're pretty much close to flawless on our tracking right now. As long as you do things the way that you're actually, as we've laid them out, we're very good at tracking your clients attached to you as a referring partner. So whenever you send over a client, if they end up getting on a sales call with one of the individual companies, and maybe you didn't make that call, you don't have to worry. We are tracking that interaction. We know that it's coming from you, and you will certainly have to, you won't have to worry about, will I actually get compensated for the work that you've done? All of that is being tracked. We've spent a lot of time and effort to make sure that that is perfect. So better compensation. Let's face it, everyone is interested in helping their clients live a better life, have more, provide more value to them, but you want to make sure that you're compensated along the way. And just to give you an idea of this, these are all examples of commissions that we've paid to agents already that are maybe lined up for services that they've already referred over. Some of these tax credits take a little bit to come through. So these are commissions that are already set to come in. And you see some of these. Look at the numbers on these pages. These are substantial amounts of income. And you got to remember, if this is the income they're getting, think of the value that they're getting, that their client is getting. So there's a lot. Everything that we're doing is focused client first. And it's very important that we keep that focus that way. But again, the compensation is there. It is a meaningful compensation. We're very excited about that. So compensation structure, most of our compensation goes directly to the individual who's actually made the referral or made that quality introduction. There are other ways in which you can make money, but they're all really focused on building quality relationships with clients, but then also maybe making quality relationships with other professionals who you know could benefit from these same services. So you might not be someone who knows a bunch of business owners, but maybe you have a good friend who is a business consultant. Great. They would be a perfect person to come in, get introduced to what we do with Better, and you will make, it won't be obviously anything approaching what you make if you made the referral yourself, but you will see compensation for having helped us on that business development side, build those quality relationships so we can help more clients. That is, at the end of the day, the most important thing. There are other pieces of income, but those are the two that are the most important. So diving in, what should you really do next? Because we've talked about the simplicity of this, but as you will all obviously know, you have to actually dive into action. So anyone who is here learning about Better, you're going to be receiving an email, call it in the next half hour to an hour, then it's going to tell you really how do you get started in Better Income. But let me tell you guys right now, we've done everything we can to make this a very seamless process. We're not going to be asking for anything complicated. The platform's completely free to be a part of. You really just put in your email and your phone number and your name. So anything that you would tell Facebook, nothing more exciting than that. And you're able to get access to what, in our experience, is one of the most powerful distribution platforms that has probably been around ever. It is not, I don't want to understate the impact that we've seen already on individuals, families, businesses. People are making massive changes. We have stories that you'll hear about a little bit later if you stick around through some of our product partners. You'll hear stories of companies that were going to close down doors that no longer had to close down because some of the tax credits we were able to get. You'll hear about individuals who maybe weren't that got coverage that reduced their monthly expenses on the healthcare side by $500, $700, that actually impacts the way that they're able to spend their time because their money stretches that much further. All of these things are a result of someone going out there and helping people that they already know, relationships that they already have. So we're very excited about that. And if you see that this is a good fit for you, great. You'll see it, you'll get an email so you can get started, but also talk to the person who introduced you to Better. If you have further questions, get with them, ask them any questions. And we've got a ton of training. If you know this is a good fit, but obviously you have questions that come along that journey, you'll be introduced to all of the pieces of information that you need to know to really get started with Better. So, okay, consider that a general overview of the basic elements of what is Better. Now, I have the distinct pleasure and honor of introducing to you guys here. I am going to bring him on here in 1 second. I have the honor of introducing to you the founder of Better. He is a business professional like no other in my experience. He's built if you really look at asset value, he's built an 8-figure empire out there, and is someone who I've seen his family life. I've seen his contribution life. I've seen him in action in business. And I can tell you right now, most of us are in the journey to find our path in the business world. And really, if you are looking to find out if you're a business professional and you're like, I'd like to double my income, more than likely you want to be hearing from someone who has doubled his income, and then the next year doubled his income and again, to build a multiple 7-figure residual business that I can tell you right now is very, for him, hands off. That is something that I would say would be the dream for most people out there. And what he's done as a result with his life is something that really that would be, in many respects, what I would consider a better life. So without any further ado, I'm going to introduce a good friend and mentor for myself, Mr. Jeffrey Levitan, and he's just going to share a little bit about his vision with Better, and then we'll dive right into our further speakers. So thank you so much, Jeff. Are you on here with us? Yes, I see you right there.
I'm on and I'm ready.
Hey, Jeff. There we go. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Curtis. Thanks for that overview. There's not a better guy to give the overview than the one who had his hands on putting it all together, and the systems and the operations, and probably his blood, sweat, and tears is woven in every aspect of the company. So thank you for giving that overview this morning or this afternoon. And everybody, happy holidays. I loved our music getting started. I hope all of you are in the holiday mode and season. But as you are, and as you're enjoying your families, and hopefully your houses are decorated and you're getting ready to celebrate the conclusion of another great year with your family, I hope you're looking towards 2024 in a big way. I hope you're looking to make some big moves next year. And that's what Better is about. It's about helping people have a better life. And if better income is one of the ways to have a better life, that's what most people think of right away. Immediately they think, well, if I had a better income, my life would be better. If I had more money, my life would be better. But go ahead and ask somebody who's not healthy, and they would tell you that their health, if I had better health, my life would be better. If someone who just got a divorce or broken up with, or they got their heart crushed, they would tell you, man, better relationships. If I had better relationships, then my life would be better, right? If somebody was spiritually dead and they didn't have faith, they would probably say, man, if I had better faith, my life would be better. So better income is certainly a piece of it. We're here to talk about that part of it today mostly, but I will tell you this encompasses a lot more than that. And I want to give you a little bit of the stats on our first year. Just so you know, we wrapped up our first year here in business. And getting out of the gate as a new startup, like a lot of things, it's the good news is I'm not wondering. This is like a 30-year startup. We've got so much experience coming to the table. And I'm not talking myself. I'm talking about our leadership team. I'm talking about, people like Jesus, who's got tremendous technology background, our partners and our partner companies and their experience, as well as some of our top field leaders. we bring the A team together, so we know it's going to work out. And a little proof is the last little startup I did 28 years ago is doing about 260, 270 million a year in profit. So I wasn't sure what the 8-figure empire was that Curtis was talking about, but the profit margin of that startup business, the profit is 280 million a year. How big of an asset is that? I don't know. You decide what it's worth if it's throwing off 280 million of profit being paid out to some 20, 30,000 agents, but it's worth a lot. And so we took all that experience and I thought, okay, how can I take everything I learned and everything I've done, have fun, make a difference, and make it even bigger and better than last time? So I came up with this idea that, hey, why don't we create something that is absolutely free? It has no drag as far as cost to start up. Nobody has an excuse. You could sign up everyone you know. You can call up your mom who's 80 years old and sign her up. You can call your 18-year-old who's messing around at college, isn't serious about anything, and get them to sign up. You can literally just gather people. You could gather people. You might say, why do I need to gather people? You never know what they're going to become. You never know what it's going to turn into in the future. In my last firm, you had to be a financial services professional. You had to get licensed. And you know what? I loved it. I did really well there. But one thing I think about when I think about that business is how much faster would it have been if someone could get started in 1 minute and get the business rolling? Absolutely costs nothing. You don't even have to be good at sales. You have to paste and copy links and send it out. And then if anything happens, you get compensated. Proof in the pudding is we got about 10,000 agents in year one. I go back to my financial services business and I think I had a few hundred agents. And I was one of the most successful guys in the history of that business, like one of the best. In my first year, I did a few hundred people and we got 10,000. And I still think that most of the people here haven't quite focused their attention here like they should. I got one guy who's on the call here today. I challenged him. He said, what should my first month look like? I said, you should go and add about 100 people to your business personally, and then have each one of them add 100 people. So you should do 100 times 100. And he's like, man, well, that'd be unbelievable. And look, that might sound like too much to some of you, but it's very possible in this realm. The right person's going to come in, they're going to know how to use technology, and they're going to add thousands and thousands of people in the first month. That's why I know we're going to go from 10,000 this year to probably 1 million next year. Wait and see. Once people start to get it, it's going to absolutely explode. In this business, we did about, I don't know, a little over 50 million in revenue booked this year. What does that mean, revenue booked? That means we submitted a lot of business that's in, it's calculated, it's being paid out, but it didn't make it underneath in the year. It won't make it in before 2024 gets here. We've paid less than 10% of it out to the field, but we've already paid millions out to the field in our very first startup year. And my first startup year in my financial services business, full-time year, I made 146,000, and I crushed it, by the way. Being young and broke from Chicago, making 146 grand in my first year was, you'd think I died and went to heaven financially. But in this deal, we've paid out millions and millions in our very first startup year and booked over 50, which means we got a lot of money coming next year right out of the gate. So I'm looking forward to that. We've got 10 great partner companies just to get started. We've got companies like Let's Chat, which is revolutionizing their industry and their space and making the world a lot smaller. You're going to hear from some of them today. You're going to hear from Prosperity and Alex and what we're doing there, and Clearwater and their team, and Boomi and Trident and Legacy Benefits Alliance. 12,000 people a day are turning 65. They need to get on Medicare. Legacy Benefits is helping them get there. We got Top Notch, and we've got Jorns, and we've got Lassiter, just to name a few. I mean, you're going to hear today on today's call, which you're going to be happy you're on. We're adding another solution. A new company is coming on board. The official launch might be in the next week or so when we get a few more of the last minute details. But we're going to have a solution for companies that have 500, 1,000, 10,000 employees. Imagine getting their health plan. Imagine getting their pharmacy plan. What would that do? We're talking about another enterprise type deal. where you land one deal and you might be set for life on one deal. So we got the big, we got the little, and we have everything in between, and we have something for everybody. If you want to be a crusader and go help people out of debt, we've got those products. If you want to go out there and help the senior market, we got products for them. We keep adding things to help individuals and businesses have a better experience with their life. And we're doing it here on our watch. So excited about that. I think we're going to do a few $100 million in business next year. We're going international. Like everything we're doing right now, I'm telling you, I'm so excited. We're working with lawyers right now, and we're getting ready to. There's so many more people outside of the United States than inside of it. Why limit this great concept and this great company to just these United States of America? We need to get all over the world. And imagine you have a team. Imagine the sun never setting on your business. Imagine you're going to sleep here, and your organization's going to sleep here, and your other organization on the other side of the planet's waking up, getting to work. And so, look, there's some complexities to that, but we're going to get it launched. And we're looking forward to what we're going to do next year. Maybe some of you saw on social media. If you haven't, you need to start getting on there a little bit more. And I'm closing on our new world headquarters next week. So we've been operating out of these couple little operations and offices that I own, but I finally stepped up. I'm tired of playing small. I wanted a better office. So some of you seen it already. I know my buddy Dan's got the pictures on his computers. I see Hector, he's been in the office. You know, there's some people that have actually been there on this call. But Dan, why don't you share your screen and just show them the building? That's a Photoshop better picture on there, but that is the actual building. Thank you. So you went really fast through it, but that's the building, everybody. We close on it next week. We're wrapping everything up right now, and that'll be our world headquarters. So just so you know, this isn't some little thing. We're not playing around with it. It's whatever it is that you're doing right now. This hopefully is going to be a great supplement to it, but make no mistake, it's going to be better than most things that are out there available for most people. In this era, a lot of companies are shutting down their headquarters. They're running, they're hiding, they're playing small, they're playing it safe. They're trying to avoid, taking too many risks. And I've just come to discover in life, that's what life's all about. Life's all about stretching yourself. Life is all about pushing yourself. Life is not about playing it safe ever. You never know. We're here for a flicker. You've heard that story before. You don't know how long your life's going to be. Why play it safe? Nobody ever on their deathbed said, I wish I could go back and play it safer. I wish I would have not taken as many risks and experienced as many things. I wish I would have just played it safer and lived a smaller life. No, that's not what they say. What do people say, everybody? People look back over their life later on in life and say, I wish I would have went for it more. What was I scared of anyway? I was going to end up here. I was going to end up on my deathbed. No matter how I lived it, no matter how I played the game, I should have played bigger. I should have went for it more. I don't know why I was scared. Most people live with all that regret, everybody, and we're not doing it here. We're going for it. Part of our motto is just going to be going for it in all areas of our life, making a difference, doing it right, helping people, but stretching ourselves and making that happen. Man, I'm so excited about what we have for you next year. This was our warm-up year. We had a lot of stuff to learn. I will tell you, as successful as I was in my last business, I didn't know what I didn't know. I did not know what I didn't know. And, I'm excited about the learning. I've never had a more challenging learning curve than I've had this year. And, but it's been fun. It's been a whole lot of fun. It's been super exciting. Next year, we're going to blast to the next level. And I'm glad you're here now, seeing and hearing this. Stay on this call. We got all of our partners with us. We got some of our top field guys. You're going to hear from the Mike Manitz of the world, maybe the Pete Alexanders. There's so many great people that are crushing it out there, and so many more right around the corner. Your name could be at the top of our bulletin boards, just like this. It's still wide open for any and all of you. So I hope you're excited. One of my good friends you're going to hear from next. I'm excited. He's part of this. He decided that he's going to throw his hat in, and Curtis will do him the proper introduction. But if you don't know who Omar is, I actually met Omar. I had to remind him, but it was 25 years ago or so. I was in one of his sales training classes when I was a young buck. And and he inspired and motivated me. This guy was bigger than life. He still is today. He's on his game.
Good.
And he's still giving back. He's still making a big difference. So I can't wait for you to hear from him and all of our great business partners that you're going to hear from today. So stay the course. I know you probably are at work. Some of you have dipped out. You're sneaking this call on your coffee break or whatever you're doing. But look, man, sometimes you just got to take a risk. I would just, whatever, extend your break, stay on this thing. Don't miss a word of today's call. You'll be sorry if you do. And if I don't happen to talk to you, I want to let you know we do not have my normal Wisdom Wednesday call today. This is instead of it, but I will have that. That will resume next Wednesday and the following Wednesday. That's my commitment to the field force here, is that you get direct access to me at least once a week, every single Wednesday, where I'm going to help you build your business. Curtis, I'm going to turn it back over to you. And thank you all.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Jeff. And, the message couldn't be more spot on. We are in this era where growth, you either are growing or you're dying. And, the simple fact, like you look at it, Jeff is doing in his own life everything he can to continue growing in a stage of life where most people probably would be pulling back on the trigger. They'd really be stepping back in life. They wouldn't be diving forward. And I really think that it's the perfect intro. Just his talk is the perfect intro to our next speaker anyways. Our next speaker has a beautiful rags to riches story, became a multimillionaire in his 30s, early 30s. I think it was by 31. He had right after that built a massive wealth training company. He has worked with, I believe it's 2/3 of all Fortune 500 companies in regards to just training people in how to really build quality wealth. He's shared stages with the likes of Tony Robbins, Zig Ziglar. He's shared stages with presidents, 5-star generals, and really is someone who is at the top of his game and teaching people who are at the top of their game to get to that next level. And just like Jeff was talking about, you need to continue growing in your life. You need to figure out how to expand your operations, build a bigger footprint. And I think our speaker that is about to hop in here with us right now, we couldn't have a better speaker to talk about exactly that. So I am honored and privileged to be introducing Mr. Omar Puriu, who is going to teach us just a little bit of his wisdom. Omar, do we have you on here?
Thank you, Curtis. I hope you can all hear me. Yes?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you so much. Great. Well, I'm really excited. I'm very excited because I love to work with winners, and you are all winners, and I'm part of the Better family. Thank you, Curtis. Jeff Levitan, champion, and a lot of the champions that are in this great company. A little bit about myself. I was born in a foreign country. I was born in Cuba. At the age of 7.5, my father felt communism would cripple the Cuban economy, so we escaped. My mother came first, came to Miami. We were blessed to be sponsored by a church in Joliet, Illinois, but listen to this: no money, no credit, no friends, no family. We don't speak English, and we've never felt cold air. Cubans in Chicago, no. We're island people, right? But some people were nice, but we're the only Hispanic family in the community. Make a long story short, I excelled in a few things like music, sports, and got scholarships for school. But I went to college, and my father, not speaking English, had accumulated 3 gas stations, an auto parts, and a block with the real estate. What the greatest country on earth, right? So we're lucky. I don't know what we're lucky to be able to go to Joliet. I'm gonna move out of here, and I do this because I love it. I met the right mentors, and they changed my life, and I was able to change my life. And I want to help all of you. I built the largest health clubs in the United States. You've probably heard of them. And I built record companies, publishing companies. I now have 28 best-selling books. And I'm privileged because I became a multimillionaire at the age of 31. And I do this because I love it. So enough about me. I want to talk to you about going from zero to wealth in 2024. And number one, all of you should jump on board Better right now. Just do it. It's free. Just do it. You got nothing to lose. But My goal is to help all of you to have the tools. See, I believe there's three things you need to be successful. Number one, self-mastery. Self-mastery is mastering yourself. How do you master yourself? Well, you have to become really into self-development. And that's what changed my life. Self-development changed my life. And I believe that if you work on your self-esteem, your self-image, that your confidence will build. And you need confidence to be in this business, right? So self-mastery is self-esteem, self-image, which will give you confidence. Next, you have to have the right vehicle. And I believe better is the right vehicle. And there's so many different industries in better that you can help companies and individuals with, that it's like a wonderful menu, smorgasbord, if you will, to help individuals and companies succeed and get back what they deserve, right? Those kind of things. Number three, you got to have the tools, and they have the tools. And I'm proud to say I'm part of the team of the tools. And the last thing you need is you got to take action. Got to take massive and immediate action, because all top producers take massive and immediate action. And if you don't take massive and immediate action, I believe that, me being a personal trainer and selling memberships, I would still be there if I didn't take action. I heard people say to me, I said, well, I'm going to build the largest health club in the United States. And they go, well, come on, Omar, you came from Cuba, you didn't finish college, you had 6 more months to go, you don't have a degree, you don't have any money. How are you going to do it? I says, I'm going to do it, and watch. And I did. And I went up to 600 health clubs and built the largest health club in the United States. From that, I got all these book deals. That's where Jeff saw me. My first book was Investigative Selling. And my average audience was 20,000 people. And I would go around the country, 50 cities a year, and speak on what I learned building these businesses. So I'm going to share with you a few things, because I don't have a lot of time. But I'm going to share with you the things that you need to do for 2024. Number one, I want you to reflect the next couple weeks and ask yourself, what do I really want? What do I really want in my life? And that is, what is your real purpose? They call it finding your why. What do I really want? You've got to really, don't just look at what you want, but then look at the goal. And I want you to set 2 types of goals. I set a regular goal and outrageous goal. So let's say you set a goal that you want to make an extra 100,000 with better, right? For the year 2024. But then set an outrageous goal that you want to do 150. And you set your goals and design your year 2024 and then re-engineer from the end of the year to the beginning back to the end, and go from 12 months, 9 months, 6 months, 3 months, 1 month, weeks, days, then reverse engineer till you see what the numbers are. Now, how do you get those numbers? Well, find out others in better and find out what they're doing to get those numbers, right? Because success leaves clues. So if you can find out what other people are doing in your better, this team, then you can find out what they're doing and then learn. So very important, a purpose. Next, your goals, your mission. What's your mission for the year? You might go 1 year, 3 years, 5 years. It's always good to look forward. The next thing is how you're going to do it. And how you can do it is, for instance, fact finding, time blocking. Let's say you have a full-time job or you're doing something else. Let's say you have 3 hours a day. You really need to time block those 3 hours and say, what could I do in better? How many people can I talk to? How many people can I engage, enroll, compel to get this business in 3 hours? When you time block, you write down the activities. How are you going to do it? How are you going to do it? Next, set up that strategic plan, step by step. Once you do that, I want you to really focus, because what you focus on expands. And you got to stay strong and flexible, because things are going to happen, right? Things are going to happen. Like right now, I'm sitting in my balcony on the 7th floor because they decided to have a fire drill in my building. So can you imagine? I'm sitting, and by the way, it's raining. I'm in Florida. But you know what? You got to be flexible. So you got to be strong and flexible, because things are going to happen. And then I want you to really condition your mind and body for success. Because the key in life, as Jeff and Curtis said, is to find the right vehicle, get the right tools, take massive immediate action, but learn to fail forward faster. Nothing is easy that's worth it, right? So make sure that you learn to fail forward faster and learn from whatever you're doing, become really coachable. That's really important. I always tell my mentors, why me? Why did I become this guy with 28 best-selling books, became, worth hundreds of millions of dollars by the age of 31? Why? They said, and I quote, "You were the most coachable person we ever met." And I tell you guys, you know why? I was so miserable. I was living in a 200 square foot apartment, eating tuna out of cans. I don't like tuna out of cans. Walking to work because my old GTO was breaking down all the time, and just making ends meet every week. And I was like, there's got to be a better way. I saw my mom and dad were really good people. My father was a mechanic, and then he became an employee gate guard because he had 3 heart attacks from stress. My mother was a maid in a hotel. And I said to myself, I don't want to be like that. And I got blessed to meet a mentor that managed speakers that changed my life. So again, you need self-esteem, self-image, confidence. You need the right vehicle, better. You need the right tools, and which I hope I'm going to be helping you with that. And then, of course, you need to take massive immediate action. The next thing you need to do is you need to master the power to influence and persuade. I have the #1 program in sales called Investigative Selling, and it's on influence and persuasion. If you are going to influence and persuade others to first enroll, engage, and compel themselves into better, that's one thing. Now you've got to go out and talk to individuals and companies that need our services and products. And the way you do that is to become a master of influence. I don't have a lot of time. But let me share with you a couple things. #1, pre-plan and prepare your day every day. #2, prospect. Find out your center of influence. Begin with your center of warm market, referrals, right? #2, build relationships, build rapport. Get out there and don't be afraid. Work on your magnetic presentation, which they already have it all done for you. And they've made it like a no-brainer for you. And then I will teach you how to handle objections, close a sale, and get referrals. Because referrals is the name of the game. That's the best way to build your business. And I want you to realize that opportunities come by you, and a lot of times we'll let them go by. Don't let this one go by. Better is a great opportunity for you. It's got the right leadership. Here's what I look for in a great opportunity. Ready? The right leadership. And I've known Jeff now for a long time. And he is a great leader and a great man, great father, great husband, great individual, and a great friend. So people that I'm just getting to know, like Curtis, and I know Dan for years. So you've got great leadership. #2, got to have great products and services, and Better has those. #3, got to have great compensation, and you have those. #4, you got to have great training. Got to have great training, and we have that. So when you have all those things, then you can believe in what you're doing and go out there and be confident. And confidence is so important, that you are doing the right thing with the right people, with the right products and services at the right time. You're at the right time, at the right place. Take advantage of this, please. If a Cuban immigrant can come from Cuba, not speak English, not have to work a day after he was 31 years old, question, why? Why not you? Why not now? Why not starting today? Take the plunge, have courage. I'll be very direct with you. The only time I've not hit my goals is when my plan lacked courage. Have the courage, take the plunge. My mentor, Brian Tracy, used to say, take the plunge, Omar, just take the plunge. Do it now, do it now, do it now, do it now, I do it now. So here's my last words. Do it now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Jeff,
Thank you,
did you
Jeff.
want to add?
Thank you, Curtis.
Thank you so much, Omar. We appreciate the time you taken, and the words couldn't be more perfectly fitting to everything that we do with Better. There were so many pieces I took away from that, and I can't tell you how much we appreciate your time. And guys, everyone, just so you understand, you're going to hear a lot more from Omar in the Better universe. I'm sure a lot of people on this call are sitting there going, everything he said is exactly what we want to be doing in the exact way we want to be doing it. We go out there, service a client perfectly with exactly what they need. And then, of course, you should go in there and get those referrals. Find other people that they know that are the exact right people to receive that same service as well. So, guys, I hope you took vigorous notes, because that was an excellent message. Jeff, is there anything you wanted to add on to that, or just roll on?
No, just thank you. It's great to hear you, Omar. Good to see you. Can't wait to see you soon. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you for having me. And guys, you guys are in great hands. So now take advantage of champions that have done it, been there, and they can take you there faster than you ever dreamed of. Just have faith and go for it. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Curtis. Thank you, Dan.
Beautiful. Well, good luck with the fire drill. Hopefully that ends. But no, thank you guys. And he's very right. We have some absolutely phenomenal services that we have available, and you're going to hear from some of our partners right now. To kick this off, I want you guys to understand that when it comes to individuals, we have multiple services, and even the ones that I listed earlier in the very beginning, we're talking about healthcare, we're talking about handling debt, we're talking about Medicare Advantage, but actually we're going to talk to you guys about something that sort of straddles the fence a bit. We are going to talk about a credit that is available to individuals who have their own business, so they're self-employed, and we couldn't have someone better to talk about it than one of our partners, the CEO of Top Notch ERC, and he's going to talk to you about a tax credit that's available for individuals. He's also going to tell you a little bit about what they do on the employee retention side as well, but this individual has more passion when it comes to helping families and individuals than pretty much anyone else out there I know. And he's done an excellent job of doing that. And I know that there are many on this call that have put many clients in his hands, and he's done an excellent job with them. So do I have with me Mr. Shane Stein? Let's spotlight him with me here. Shane is again, as I mentioned earlier, he is the CEO and founder of Top Notch ERC, and a good friend of ours. And he's gonna drop a little wisdom on you guys. Shane, take it away.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Curtis. Can you guys hear me okay?
Sounds good.
All right. Perfect. Look, I want to say this first and foremost. What an honor and a blessing it is to kick off the meeting for the product providers today. It's a huge honor and a blessing. And, I can't think of better partners, better friends, better family members than people like Jeff and Curtis, and just the better movement in general. Guys, most of you know me, some of you don't. If you don't, I would encourage you to reach out so we can get to know each other. But I went to a meeting one day and Jeff was hosting something really small. I saw an opportunity and I saw a niche and I saw an area that, maybe somebody could go help the little guy. Right? I don't know why you're here today, but I can promise you this, you're here for a reason. So don't let it slip by. Take advantage of the moment. And whether it be with our company, one of the other product providers, all of us are here for one reason. And we're here to serve you, right? We're here to extend those relationships. We're here to build bridges and make connections that truly can take you all to the next level. And when I say to the next level, it's anything you can imagine, right? So Top Notch in general, we do 2 tax credits. Self-employment tax credit, SETC is the acronym we give for it. It's sick and family leave tax credit is what the legal term is for it. And then the employee retention tax credit program. But I'll tell you guys what, you've entrusted us with thousands and thousands and thousands of clients. Have we been perfect? No, I'm going to be completely honest with you. We're not perfect. We're not the best in the world, but I can assure you this. I care about each and every one of you. I've got a staff and a team of people that actually do care about each and every one of you. And we are truly focused on reestablishing, rebuilding that communication. As we've grown, we've experienced some growing pains. But with all that being said, I just want to reassure you that we are going to do everything in our power to give you and give the clients the best experience available. Okay. Now, with that being said, if you are a self-employed individual, 1099 contractor, LLC, somebody started sharing their screen there. There are a lot of, tax credits and things out there, but SETC is one of them, right? And as a self-employed individual, if you claimed that tax credit, right? Not tax credit, if you claimed a positive net income in 2019, 2020, and or 2021, then you could potentially get back over $30,000 in tax credit, right? But I want to make sure that everyone understands this very clearly. To get a tax credit, you had to have claimed income, right? And paid some taxes in. A lot of us were in the financial industry, and we taught people how to take write-offs and take losses so that you don't pay Uncle Sam anything. Well, that's good. However, to receive a tax credit, you're not going to qualify for the tax credit. But really simple. Self-employed individuals, gig workers, 1099 contractors, even if you have a W-2 full-time job and you're a financial professional on the side, or you're a better partner that gets paid 1099 income, you can potentially go and qualify for the SETC program, right? There's 4 aspects of qualifying when it comes to getting money back. The first 2 are personal impact. So, did you have COVID? Did you feel like you had COVID? Did you experience COVID-like symptoms? Did you have to quarantine, separate yourself? Did you do it personally, or were you told to do it? All of that. If you got tested for COVID, all of those days add up, and you can claim up to 10 days for yourself in 2020 and 10 days for yourself in 2021. Now, that could equal a maximum of about $10,220, give or take. The biggest portion of the credit's going to come in the other 2 aspects. That's if you had children. If your children's school was shut down, daycare was shut down, it says in there, if you provided care for any other individual and they had COVID, so it doesn't have to necessarily be a family member, any other individual that you went and helped and provided care for, then you can claim an additional 50 days in 2020 and up to 60 days in 2021. Now, that significantly increases it, and that's how you get up to the 32,000+ range. I don't know where you're at today, if you're a contractor, a W-2 employee, but I can tell you this, we're sending those estimates out every day, okay? And when people get that 32,000 number, or they get that 5,000 number, the 8,000 number, whatever it is, we're getting those messages back like that was talked about earlier. Shane, you have no idea where and what's going on in my life right now. That money is going to save my family today. That money is going to keep me in my home today, right? People are dealing with all kinds of things. So don't ever assume that they're in a great position or in a bad position. Always offer, ask the questions, and give an opportunity to somebody, right? Now, that's for SETC, self-employed, contractor, gig worker, single member LLC. You're receiving 1099 income. On the employee retention tax credit side, we'll help any business that has 2 full-time W-2 employees up to 500, okay? And we've done a great job with it. It's something that I'm very passionate about as a whole. Our motto is really simple, right? Rebuild every community, one small business owner at a time. And the only way that we can do that is through the SETC program or through the ERC program when it comes to Top Notch. The other providers can offer different services to help in those aspects and avenues, but super excited about ERC. Okay, guys, we've been posting it, we've been blasting it. All the providers have been blasting it. The commissioner himself has said ERC is moving forward. We knew it was going to happen. We knew it was coming. they took a small pause, right? And the really excellent, great news is we've had clients start receiving some letters last week, right? That's a big move to start receiving letters last week and going forward. So they're still moving slow. However, we don't have enough time to move slow, right? As referral partners and as providers, we have to move fast, full steam ahead. We got to get those companies signed up at no cost, right? There's no cost to sign up. It's free to sign up. It's free to get an estimate. You don't pay Top Notch $1. And now, if I understand correctly, any of the providers for ERC $1 until you receive the money, right? We focus on no upfront fees for ERC, and we'll continue to do that throughout the rest of the time period. But guys, you only got about 4.5 months right now for companies to be able to truly recover every dollar that's available to them.
Okay.
Because in April of 2024, they can no longer get 2020 ERC credits as of right now. Hopefully they extend it. That would be the right thing to do. And then we have another year to go and get 2021 on top of that. So here's what I would say. Talk to everybody. Invite everybody to the Better program and Better platform. Let them decide what they're going to do. Let them decide what product partner they're going to work with. Let them decide where they want to take it, what they want to do with it. What I love about this company and this organization in general is just there's no dictatorship here. People aren't telling you who you can work with, who you can't work with, what you can do, what you can't do. At least I hope that rings true for everybody. But man, it's an honor, it's a blessing. SETC, ERC, take notes, get ready, talk to everybody. You get one shot. Don't let it pass you by, because the worst feeling in life is regret.
Excellent, Shane. Thank you so much. And I can't appreciate more what you guys do to really help just build such an amazing community and such an amazing service for business owners and now for, self-employed individuals. So thank you so much. And actually, we have, I set up for Pete Alexander to hop on the call in right now, because Pete has done a lot of work with Top Notch. He's done a lot of work really in general when it comes to just employee retention credits. Pete, are you in here? I'm getting a thumbs up. Okay, there he is. Pete, why don't you just give your experience so far with working with Top Notch and, just the ERC process in general?
Yeah, I will. And hey, thanks, Jeff, for hosting this, and Shane and everybody that's involved in this. First of all, thank God, and my wife, who's put up with me for 45 years. But and I want everyone just to imagine a better life. And what if you do that now and you do that after this call, what does that look like for you? Because your better life is going to be different than mine. And this vehicle is for that. So, growing up, I was a son of a preacher, mom of a teacher. So it's my nature and my passion to teach and to learn and to help and to serve. And that's really what this whole platform has been about. And specifically in regards to the ERC, when I got started, I didn't know anything about taxes except to pay them when they're due. So here's the beauty of this business, you guys, whether it's whatever you're using on a platform, not everybody can sell, but everybody can refer. We're not the experts. We're referring it to the experts. So keep this simple, have fun, help a bunch of people, and make a bunch of money. So, like I said, I didn't really know a whole lot about it, but I do know this is that right now you can make as much in the next 24 months as you did in the last 20 years. And I've taken that to heart. And so in the beginning, I remember I was introduced to this business and I didn't really know much about it, but my friend Jason, when you have people in your circle that you trust and they have a recipe for success and there's a relationship, then you just run with it. And so initially it was with ERC. I didn't know anything about it. And we had Jorns, and Jorns is also a great company. All we had was a Jorns video. I took action right away. As soon as I joined Better, I literally was making phone calls. And then I was sending the video. I said, hey, did you hear about this? Send the video. Hey, did you hear about this? Send the video. But I learned quickly there was adversity, because there's skepticism, there's doubt, there's opposition, but I kept going. So I pivoted. So have belief, take action, make a plan, keep it simple, and adapt quickly and be passionate and keep moving. But there was a space within the ERC that wasn't being met. It was the employees under 10. There was businesses with under 10 employees. And Shane took action immediately. inform Top Notch so we could help those employees. Now, to be clear, they're helping from 2 to 500, but there was that space that was needed. And in the beginning, guys, we were three-way texting. I was texting Shane and copying a business client. Hey, Shane, they didn't want to do it. So what we have now from a year ago to what it was, if we could do it with three-way texting, you can do it with this platform that Jesus and Curtis and everyone is building. So, but it was, whether it was 2 or 3 employees or 200, here's what I'll say with Shane and with Top Notch. It's the same passion. It's the same belief. We're people helping people, and it makes a difference. I helped a church get $300,000, and that church is now, they're doing all kinds of stuff within a community with that money. And now the one of the pastors is planning a church in Honduras. So I'm using my commission to help pay for that. I'm like, hey, it was free money, so I'll just give it back away. So, but so many different. I've got another 4 employee company that Top Notch was able to help. He says, Pete, the pandemic was brutal, and I don't know how I'm going to survive. This is going to help me stay in float. Got other businesses are saying this is going to allow me to give a raise. This is going to allow bonus. The economy is turning, guys. So whatever you do, just lock on and and then when we need service, because here's what I'll call, and then I stay in touch with my clients, and then they, I haven't heard from anybody, but that's actually not true. They just haven't opened their emails or their phone calls, but we always maintain that they're right. And so I'm like, okay, let's find out what's going on. Shane has been responsive. His staff has been responsive. And I'll say, I have business with Jorns and with Top Notch. Majority is with Top Notch. They're both great companies. Every company on this platform is a good company, but hopefully that helps. And I'll turn it over to the rest, leave some time for everyone else.
It really does. And thank you so much, Pete. And here's the way that I took away a couple things. I'm a big wedding crasher, so people helping people with some powerful stuff. So that's what you're doing on the back end is the exact, embodiment of what we love in our reps, is that a lot of you guys are extremely caring. So we appreciate that. But also I want to point out one thing here for everyone who's already familiar with Better. What Pete said you need to take note of. It's not just about making a referral. It really is a quality referral. He's stayed in touch with all those clients. He's made sure that they actually do the things that they need to do, because it's not a matter of referral. It's a client that actually gets serviced. And if they don't get, whatever information needed over to those companies, they're not going to get service. So Pete, you've gone above and beyond. And I think anyone who's really seen high income already with Better, they go above and beyond to make sure it's a quality referral that actually gets connected correctly and completely with that company. So amazing, Pete. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shane. We are going to dive into our next speaker here. And I've gotten the pleasure of getting to know our next speaker for the last year and a half now. And he is someone who I can say is tenacious to get out there and help clients. And that is an attribute that isn't always present. And it's definitely something that I value about his friendship and the way he approaches his business. But the next speaker is in an industry where seniors need direction when it comes to Medicare, specifically Medicare Advantage. And Gabe is a consummate professional when it comes to how these companies are, or how these individuals are serviced with his company. And Legacy Benefits Alliance is a absolute gem for many of our licensed reps that have already gotten started with them. Right now, we're in the middle of open enrollment, so we've got people. I'm happy that I was able to snag him for a couple minutes here, because I know he's got a very booked out schedule. But Mr. Gabriel Burgos, I'm sure we have you on here. Let's get you spotlighted. Perfect. Okay, good. Gabe, what you've done so far with LBA is an absolute beautiful thing. So thank you so much for everything so far. Why don't you talk to these guys about why a lot of financial professionals are leading with services like you offer with LBA and Medicare Advantage. Enlighten them, because I think there's not enough people who are diving in with enough aggression. Oh, you're muted.
All right, can you guys hear me? Everybody can hear me okay? All right, great. Well, thanks, Curtis. Jeff, good seeing you guys. Shane, seeing some of you guys, other product providers on here. Always a pleasure. I'm excited to be here to talk about one of my favorite topics, which is Medicare. For those of you that know me or don't know me, I've been in the financial service industry for over 15 years. I've had my own RIA and insurance company here in Orlando, Florida, very successful practice independently. And I added Medicare over 8 years ago, 8 years ago, to my financial practice firm. And it was one of the best decisions I ever made. At the time, I didn't know it. I always heard the word Medicare, Medicare. And at first, I kind of raised an eyebrow at it and said, this is for destitute, or, it's for poor people, or I didn't understand it, right? The negative connotations I heard out there. And as I started diving deeper into it, I realized everybody needs Medicare. It doesn't matter if you're rich, middle of the road, poor. Everybody, if you're an American, you have to get on Medicare when you turn 65. And actually, if you don't get on Medicare, you're going to be penalized for the rest of your life at 10% for not signing up for Part B, right? So when I added it to my practice, it became a huge lead generation machine for my financial service practice. So for those of you on this call here, if you have an insurance license and you do anything in the financial industry or even real estate, listen up. And if you've been around, I think Better in LBA has now been around for over a year and a half, and you've been around for a year and a half and you still haven't added Medicare, you're making a huge mistake and you're going to be left behind. I promise you that. 2-3 years are going to go down the road and you're going to say, dang, I should have listened to Gabriel when he gave that speech. You're going to be left behind if you don't come on board now. So I'm going to share a few PowerPoint slide here real quick, just to show some statistics on the numbers, right? This is why, guys, right now, it's one of the biggest wealth transfers that are happening, okay? You're dealing with the baby boomers, right? 65 and older. These people have all the wealth in our country. Most of you on this call here have insurance or investment licenses that can segue. That's what Medicare does. It segues you to be able to service them with everything else you do. If you're here working with Prosperity Financial, if you're here working with Shane's awesome company, Top Notch, if you're doing any of the other products within Better, guys, Medicare can open up that door so you can do ERC. Guess what? Business owners have to sign up for Medicare. You understand that? There are people out there that are in debt that need Medicare and need Prosperity, etc. This is a perfect tool to open up the doors for everything else that you're currently doing. There's 66 million people enrolled in Medicare, okay, right now. There's 13,000 people a day turning 65 that need help, all right? Medicare is a confusing topic. Right now, like Curtis mentioned, this is AEP, the annual enrollment period. We just finished on the 7th. We're getting ready to go right into OEP. And these clients, these seniors need our help. It's confusing. There's a lot of options. There's a lot of carriers. And we're going to take all that heavy lifting. We're going to train you. We're going to show you exactly what you need to do. And by the way, it's one of the most lucrative businesses that you can be in. Not only because it's going to help your insurance and financial business, but you're going to build a massive passive income while doing it. And lastly, in 40 states, 1 in 5 people, okay, are enrolled in Medicare. All right, so literally, how would you like to run into somebody that 1 in 5 people that you prospects or people you meet, you could talk to them about Medicare and then cross-sell them with everything else that you're already doing? That's the power. That's why I added Medicare and I became a 7-figure earner, passive income, guys. I'm a multimillionaire with Medicare trails and renewals, guys, okay? I've been in the financial industry, own an RIA, doing money under management, and it took me so long to build my book of business. Within a few years with Medicare, I blew it away, okay? Absolutely blew it away. So wanted to point that out. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn it over because I want to talk a little bit about the compensation, because I want to make sure that you understand how the comp works and how it segues to your financial service industry. So Carl, are you there? I'm going to turn it over to Carl. For those of you that haven't had the privilege to meet Carl, he's a dear friend. He's our national executive trainer. He's been a huge part of the growth of LBA. So I hold him very dear in my heart, and I thank him every day for the work that he does. He's hands-on, boots on ground, working with agents. He helps them close deals. The guy will answer the phone 10, 11 o'clock at night. The guy is just unbelievable. And I'm going to have him share here. I'm going to share my next slide here, and I'm going to have him talk a little bit about what agents can make and what agencies can make. And before I do that, Carl, let me give you the 3 main points that makes LBA different than other Medicare agencies out there, because there's other ones out there. There's 3 things. When I put this together, Jeff and I sat down here in my kitchen table and I said, Jeff, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it big. And I was preaching to the choir because I know Jeff does everything big, right? So when him and I get together, it's like spark plugs, okay, fire. So I said, the first thing, Jeff, if we're going to do this, we got to pay people right, okay? We got to pay a good commission so they don't go anywhere. So we have the #1 compensation in the industry. Check it out. Second thing is, you own your book of business. We believe that if you're going to pick a career and invest in something, you should have something to fall back on. If for any reason you ever decided that you wanted to go on your own, we don't ask questions. We'll sign a release. You can go on your way. You own that book of business. We believe that our platform is so great that you're not going to leave. But if you ever did, you're welcome to do so. And the last thing, the third thing is, we give you the opportunity to build a Medicare agency and an override system within our platform. There's no other opportunity out there that offers agents the opportunity to build a Medicare agency within the platform. And we have that. It's all laid out. It's all built and ready for you to partake. So, Carl, I'm going to turn it over to you so you can go over the slide, just explain a little bit on the compensation so they can get an idea. Thanks, guys.
Sure, absolutely. Thanks, Gabe. Listen, Medicare is such a fun business because it's relational, right? So Gabe wanted me to touch on the commissions. There's 2 types of commissions for the individual, right? If you find somebody new to Medicare, which Gabe was talking about, there's like 13,000 people a day that are coming on to Medicare. If you capture one of those people, you're going to get paid $600 on your first year. But that's not all. For every year that you keep that client, you're going to get a renewal of 50% of that $600, which is $300. So every client basically is $300. So I wanted to point that out for just a second, because as I go into these slides here and we talk about the compensation, I didn't even touch on the first year. I'm just talking about your renewal compensations, right? So as an individual right now, the goal is kind of to start out with 100 apps. And really, if you have absolutely no experience, that's a very achievable goal. We will have any of our top producers this year reach 100 by September. And I can almost guarantee that because I can see the progression that we have already had. And I think we've already had one of our agents already hit that threshold, which is pretty amazing since they've only been with us for about 5 months. So 100 apps is pretty achievable. But what's neat about that is that's a $30,000 income minimum. That's very, very minimum. But that's just first year. You have to remember that $30,000 is there year after year after year after year, right? So for people who are team builders, let me talk to you for just a second. If you had 25 agents and they were doing that minimum 100 apps, that's 2,500 apps. Now, I'm not even going to talk about the way that our marketing structure is as far as marketing dollars that would come to you for all 5 tiers, but we have a partner pool that we have put together. Once you reach 2,500 apps, with just those 25 agents, you would get an additional $12,500 in your pocket for doing nothing except for having those agents have another platform that gives them residual income. Now, if we had 10 agencies and you did nothing different, that number jumps to 125,000. And the larger the pool, the larger the payout. Currently, right now, we have about 300 agents. If we only took half of that, and the 150 of those agents got those 100 apps in, which I'm pretty confident we're going to get there, right? The payout right now would be 150 for each person who had a team that had 2,500 apps. So that's my first example. And my second example is even more exciting. If you were an agency, right, and you only had 25 agents, and you taught all of those 25 agents to grow by 5, and you kept that system down, and that's how we team build, right? And you did all that, all 5 tiers, you would grow $2.4 million annually, and that would be every year to come. It would continue to grow, but that's a lot of money. And we're just talking about the pool money. We're not talking about direct, like my first tier level income, my second tier level income. This is just the party pool, right? So Gabe, if you can hit the next slide for me. Here's the secret. LBA is one of those, well, let me say this. LBA, because it's a Medicare company, is not a business that distracts from other businesses. It adds to your business. It helps stop attrition, right? And nobody in the industry, if you've done life, if you've done any business where you need people underneath you, Medicare is that one piece of business that can keep your people with you because it builds a solid and continuous residual income that is not 1%. It's basically at least 50%, if not 100% of what they earned their first year, and it will continue to grow. So it eliminates a lot of that attrition that you normally have. It's also probably the best segue for going into your other lines of business. If you sell life insurance, if you do debt reduction, any of the other stuff, real estate, any of the other businesses, the people that work with our Medicare clients, because Medicare is a relational business. And I love what Omar said. I think it was Omar. He was talking about building relationships with your clients or building relationships with businesses. Medicare is a relational business. Once you have somebody that comes onto you as a client with Medicare, they will open up all of their other lines of business to you. So Medicare is a lifelong business that for passive and increasing income. And right now, what we're doing with our agents, we have this thing called Road to 1,000, right? So what my goal is for every agent that comes into Medicare, the Road to 1,000 means that they have a $25,000 a month income that doesn't go away. Now just think about that when you multiply your numbers that I talked about in that last slide by 10, because I was only talking about 100 apps per agent. Think about that with 1,000 apps per agent. We're going to have a
Carl,
special
that's perfect.
call.
That's awesome. We got to make sure to keep rolling here. We're a little bit over time here, and I want to make sure we get everyone out of here by the 3 o'clock mark.
Gotcha.
But if people are looking to learn more, you guys have an event tomorrow. I know that we're going to send out an email to everyone on that. So we will make sure that they get that info. Also, we have someone who's done a lot of work with you guys so far that we're going to hear from. So Carl, Gabe, thank you so much for diving in and making all of that, making the case for why you should be adding Medicare to what you're already doing, Medicare Advantage. So Patrina, we have you in here. I know that you're from right in this neck of the woods. I believe you're in the Georgia area, and from what I understand, you're in the financial profession. So you've already worked with people with their finances, And this was something that you went ahead and added to what you're already doing in the financial world. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. I've been in it since 2014 in the financial industry. So yeah, I've been in it for a good minute.
That's awesome. Yeah, go ahead. Tell us a little bit about what it's been like working with LBA and how you've added it to what you're already doing.
Working with LBA has been awesome opportunity. You know, I had tried to do it about 4 or 5 years ago, and it was such a disaster that I said, no way would I ever do it again. But listening to Gabriel and Carl promised me from the beginning that they would show me how to do it and not leave me when it was AEP time, the annual enrollment time, because that's what happened last time. And they not only did what they told me, but they super exceeded that gave me so much confidence without me knowing everything, but just going out there. And it was just such a great experience for myself.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for kind of sharing your experience on that. And guys, there are countless people who are out there working in this area with LBA, and it isn't their core focus, but hey, from what I'm understanding, some of you guys out there are doing well enough that it very quickly could probably becoming your core focus. But Patrina, thank you so much for taking the time and just sharing your experience.
I just want to say
guys,
one more
yeah, go ahead.
One more thing, adding to your financial business is because my financial business was in a slump for a little while because I was a stay-at-home mom, so I didn't get out a lot. Medicare has just opened, and I'm already starting to get people to just call me back. So it's a great addition to your Medicare business, and it's crazy if you don't add this onto your business to be really successful.
That's awesome. Yeah, and guys, I want you to understand, we're highlighting one individual with each of these companies that's done very well, and Patrina's doing an excellent job from what I understand. So thank you also for sharing your experience and your story there. But guys, there are countless individuals out there that are doing exactly this. You should be, if you are going out there and you're, helping individuals with their finances, especially that particular age group, they need so much guidance on what to do with the money that they've spent their entire life putting money into a 401k or saving in some other capacity. That is the time that they need the most help. So go in there, provide a valuable service, and then you're able to assist them in other respects as well. So thank you so much for, the LBA team shedding some light on why this would be a good second sale for someone to be doing or something to lead with. Next up, we have our second partner that we work with on the tax credit side. And I'm going to talk a little bit about this individual because, we've had the pleasure of working with him since our launch. They were the employee retention credit partner from our launch back August of last year. And we've had the privilege of working with them ever since. And, the person that's going to be talking here represents Jorns and Associates. He's a vice president with the company. And Jorns is hundreds of employees strong at this time. They've done billions in returns for companies. And really, they are a premier partner with us. And I really appreciate the friendship of this individual who's going to be coming up and talking with us here. He's built multiple successful businesses himself. He really didn't need to dive into this area, but did so because of how amazing the opportunity is. And he's a consummate professional. We've heard nothing but amazing things of people who work with him. He'll hop in there and help out if you need a helping hand on the ERC side and also on the SETC side, the self-employed side. So Greg Ammerman, why don't you hop in here? I want you to enlighten people as to what an absolutely amazing opportunity companies have with regards to employee retention credits. Because let's face it, guys, there has been some weird concept floating around out there that, this isn't as prime an opportunity as it really is for a business owner. It sounds too good to be true, but what it turns out is that it's not too good to be true. It's exactly as amazing as it sounds. So Greg, enlighten people.
Well, first of all, I appreciate being on with you, and I appreciate the kind words that you mentioned. I think about what this event stands for, and the name of the event is Elevate. And that's what I think about when I think of ERC, or I think of the new program that we can offer, the self-employed tax credit, because that's what you get to do. You elevate a business, you elevate a self-employed individual, you elevate yourself because you're helping elevate others. You're elevating as you bring on new referral partners. You're elevating their lives and their potential and their opportunities with all that Better has to offer, and especially with ERC and the time that we have left. And I think that's the stance that you need to have in your mind when you approach this. You can work it from different angles, right? So we heard Gabe talk about this, what Medicare is leading into, then that could lead to ERC, for example. And it can work the other way as well. You can talk with business owners about ERC, and that could lead to conversations about Medicare and other things. So it all works hand in hand, and that's what really makes Better an exceptional opportunity. But when you think about the Employee Retention Tax Credit, we got a ton of experience. Jorns and Associates now has cleared over 17,000 clients that we've helped. Curtis mentioned billions. We're now approaching $8 billion. And I'm going to tell you a story here when I finish up, something very exciting that happened today, and maybe they're on the line with us today, something that happened to them. They got notification of amount of money that they will be receiving at some point soon. But the bottom line is, we focus on compliance, accuracy, professionalism. We focus on maximizing credits and protecting clients. But most importantly, and the thing I'm most impressed with our growth at Jorns, working alongside Better, is our communication. Because communication is everything. I heard a couple of times the word relationship come up, and it's true. Everything is about relationships. I mean, without relationships, you don't have opportunity, you don't have business, you don't have residual. So relationships is everything, and that comes from effective communication. So one of the things that we do, I believe, the best of anything that we do is making sure that nobody's frustrated, nobody's in the dark, nobody's not getting a call back, nobody's not getting a response to an email. We are on it. And I know that maybe you're not sitting there with a pen and paper, or maybe somebody could type this in the chat, but I want to make sure that everybody on here has access to us to know that we can communicate with you at any point. So I'm going to give you 3 email addresses. One email address is bettersupport@jornstax.com. That's BETTR support@jornstax.com. Then you've got K Wilson, K for Kelly, K Wilson @jornstax.com. And then you have Greg with 2 G's at the end, GREGG @jornstax.com. Why do you need this? Because we are the liaisons between Better and Jorns and Associates. So while we work with Jorns and Associates, we work directly with Better to make sure that you know everything you want to know about your clients, that if you want an update on your clients, you can get it very quickly. We work with your clients so that they'll never be frustrated or disappointed with the fact that they don't know where their file stands. That's very, very important. We are very excited about where ERC is going. And to Curtis's point, listen, don't listen to the noise. You have to see yourself like a professional athlete. That's what I consider every entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is a professional athlete, right? What do you got to deal with? You got to deal with all the naysayers, all the critics, all the people that want to tell you what you can't do and what you shouldn't do. But at the end of the day, it's just noise. ERC is as good today as it always was. The fact is, there are still, 20 million businesses out there that have no idea that ERC exists, or they've been told misleading things, or they've been misinformed, etc. Your job is really simple. Just ask the question as often as you can. Are you familiar with the Employee Retention Tax Credit, or have you filed? That's all you got to do. ask, ask, ask. That's no different than if you're a basketball player. What do? Shoot, shoot, shoot. If you're a hockey player, you slap pucks at the net. It's the same exact thing. And if you do that, you're going to score. That's what's going to happen. You're going to score. Just ask, there's a young lady who her name is Lisa. And today I sent her an email, and that email stated that a client of hers got filed and her projected commission is $78,016.92. And she replied to that email very quickly with, "Holy cow, that's amazing. How is that possible?" How is it possible? Because when you enroll a client and we take them through calculations and qualifications and all the compliance things, and we determine that they qualify and their credit is in the millions, that's how it happens. And that's why, to me, Curtis mentioned it, I didn't need to do this. I'm very glad to be a part of it. And the reason I am is it's because it's too good. It's just too good. And when something is too good, don't be afraid of it. Aggressively attack it. Get after it so that you don't miss it. So that's that when it comes to ERC. And then you got the self-employment tax credit. I love what we're doing with that. The fee is beyond reasonable and beyond fair. It's not even a good word to use, fair. Somebody can pay $250. We have a sliding scale. So a minimum fee of $250 all the way up to a maximum fee of $1,500. You only pay when the client knows what they're going to receive. I mean, literally, I have clients getting $5,000, $8,000, $12,000, and they paid $500. And one of my favorite things about that isn't just the low fee and the work we do and a CPA doing the work. It's that we also give every client for self-employment tax credit long-term audit assistance at no cost. So think about that down the road, that if by chance they were randomly audited, just to be able to hire a tax attorney or a CPA, it would be in the thousands of dollars to do that. And we cover that at no cost to them. That's in their agreement. So not only do we do great work, but we stand by the work. And that's very, very important. And we're excited to do that. So self-employment tax credit is blowing up at Jones right now. I mean, it's like literally like a dial on a slot machine. It's just going because let's be real. Once again, there's a lot of people out there who fall into this bucket of needing this credit, and it will really help them. So I'm excited about that. You can count on us to do great work. And remember, the bottom line is ERC, self-employment tax credit, is a small window. So you've got to seize the moment. You got to take advantage of it. It'll lead to not only helping businesses and individuals get this much needed money if they're deserving of it, but it'll open many more doors because of the relationship you'll create with all those potential clients.
I love it, Greg. Thank you so much. And here's the thing, guys. I want you to understand that everything that we have going on in Better in one capacity or another is the perfect fit for somebody's business. Maybe meaning you as a referrer. If you know business owners, guys, you need to get involved with some of these companies on the platform. Now, guys, it is 2:40. We only have 20 minutes left of this particular event. So we're not going to hold you past 3. So all speakers that we have lined up after this, I ask you to be extremely prompt in your messaging. So next up, though, I do want people to hear from this particular individual. He's made over $250,000 working with us on employee retention credits with Jorns. Do we have Mike ready to hop in here? Let's get him spotlighted right next to me. Guys, Mike Mannett is one of the people in the field that I would consider is a dear friend of mine. Someone who I've spent countless hours on the phone with talking about. I remember when we first got started on employee retention credits, he's a good friend of Jeff's, and Jeff put me in touch with him and basically said, hey, this guy is going to grill you. He is going to ask you every hard question about employee retention credits and about our process and about why we chose the partners we chose. And if he doesn't like it, he won't do it. But if he loves it, he'll probably be one of our biggest, most active reps in the field, and he has not disappointed. He grilled me endlessly about, why this partner, what about the program, talk me through it, give me links, send me everything. And I will say that in that process, I found out that he's my kind of people, and he's done amazing things in here. So Mike, why don't you just take a minute here, tell us your experience with Jorns, but also tell us some of the examples, whether someone does it with Top Notch or Jorns, it really doesn't matter. Tell us some of the examples of what you have seen on the client side, because you've had some pretty unique client interactions that are worth talking about.
Sure. Thank you, Curtis. I appreciate the intro and your friendship, and it's been awesome getting to know you, through Jeff. And the first thing I want to say is, so Curtis is right. I did grill him. The reason is I have a commercial insurance agency, so I've got a lot of commercial clients, and some of these clients I've had 15 to 20 years, and so and you build trust with them, right? And so if I'm going to bring something new to them, an idea, concept, it has to be thoroughly vetted, and I have to know that I know it's being done right, whatever it is. And so when Jeff first, let me know about the ERC, and hooked me up with Curtis, and then Curtis hooked me up with Greg Ammerman at Jorns. And I've gotten to know Greg, and I consider Curtis and Greg personal friends now at this point. And they've been absolutely amazing. Greg gave, I think he sent out the email address for Kelly Wilson, who's on his team. And Kelly, just everyone I've talked with is the highest caliber, so professional and helpful and knowledgeable. And so once I'd kind of gone through the process of getting to know the people behind the scenes, to learn more about the ERC, it gave me a lot of confidence to go and be bold, with my clients and say, look, this is really something you have to look into. And I want to give you, Curtis asked me to give an example of a large client that I have. It's a garbage company. They run about 300 trucks. And again, really strong relationship with them I've had for a long time. And I went to the owner and I said, hey, have you looked into ERC? Have you done anything with that? He wasn't familiar with it. He hooked me up with their internal CPA. I spoke with their CPA. His name's Steve. And I said, hey, have you guys done this? He goes, oh yeah, no, I don't think we're not going to qualify for that. And so I had to kind of overcome the objection and say, listen, I really think you should have a conversation with a VP at Jorns & Associates, the company that I'm referring my clients to. And so he agreed to do that. And he had a conversation with Greg. And Greg, this is where it's so important that you're working with somebody that's professional and knows their stuff. Greg could probably, he could probably educate tax attorneys on the subject. He's that versed, right? So we have the conversation, and the CPA at this company says, you know what? Yeah, maybe, we'll look into it. Let's proceed. Well, for them, and it was a long process because it had to go through the different departments at Jorns & Associates. It ended up in their qualifications team. Lisa Singletary, another amazing person. She's a qualification specialist. She dug in and we had multiple calls with the client, and she's helping them to sector their revenue. And without getting too technical, she's helping them to see if they qualify. Well, long story short is we wrapped this thing up, and they just filed about a month ago. Their return is estimated at 7.5 million in that neighborhood. But this is what's cool, before they actually filed, Jorns sent the substantive report to the client. Client reviewed everything with their internal CPA. Then they reviewed it with an external CPA. Then they hired a tax attorney to write an opinion on it. The tax attorney said, hey, I've got, a handful of questions. We got in touch with Greg. He arranged for a call with the people at the top in the departments at Jorns to address these questions. The tax attorney signed off and said, yep, go ahead and file. So, it's just, that's a long story. I apologize. But my point in that is that this is done, and it's done right. And when you know that something's being done right, you can have great confidence to, push a little bit harder. Jeff told me a long time ago, it's okay to inconvenience people for their own good. And And so I've got other, I could give other examples. I'll give a few here. I've got a client that does automotive restoration. They've already got 850,000 back. That was their return. They've been trying to open a new shop building for a couple of years now. This did it. This put them over the hump. They're doing that. I've got a recycling company that had just a little over $1 million. They were literally getting ready to close the doors in their operation. And I had talked to them months and months before. The return came through and it kind of saved the day for them. Another one, a $300,000 return for another recycling company. Very interestingly, I do the insurance, right? So the insurance renewal was $250,000 for their commercial insurance. And I called them. I said, "Hey, do you want to finance that?" They said, no, we'll pay it in cash. We've got the 300 we just got because of the ERC. Another company of mine, a scrap metal dealer. He's got 400,000 was his return. And he just purchased a new piece of property for his business. I mean, I could bore you to tears with this, but the reality is this is absolutely helping my client. And I challenged somebody else to walk in the door of one of those clients and say, "Hey, let me quote your commercial insurance." You know what the answer would be is, I don't think so. This guy goes way above and beyond.
That's beautiful. And Mike, it's so true. So thank you so much for hopping in here and sharing some of these stories with us. And Greg, thank you for covering what you guys do on both ERC and the SCTC side. I would love to have everyone hop in and tell, all their stories of the amazing things we're doing to help families. But here's the thing. We also have a couple of our guys who have 3 p.m. appointment deadlines. So what we're going to do here is we're going to really quickly get Kyle Offrey on here. Kyle is at the helm, not the CEO, but at least in terms of our activities with Let's Chat. And he's going to take a minute here and just walk us through, hey, what is it? What is Let's Chat? Why is it so amazing? And what is the opportunity? Then right after that, we'll have the next speaker and we'll bring in some guests to talk about that after. But Kyle, hop in here. Tell us about what amazing activities you have going on. You got many things going on.
Thanks, Curtis. And since the first rule of better is fun, I have my light up Grinch shirt on for everybody to set the holiday spirit. Rule number 1, I want to make sure I comply with the rules, Jeff. Hi, everybody. Kyle Offrey with Let's Chat. Let's Chat's exploding. This will be the fastest presentation. We are a live AI-powered language translation tool. We do all forms of communication translations. It's funny hearing Omar start this thing 2 hours ago. The first thing he said was, "My father came to this country and he couldn't speak any English." Right? Language barriers came up in the first conversation of this entire presentation, and they exist in every aspect of business and life throughout this country, especially as the country keeps growing with international people coming in from all over the world. I just posted in the chat a link to a YouTube video. We just did in person a live in real time podcast with a person that you guys might know. His name's Tony Hawk. So he had a one-on-one conversation with a Portuguese speaker. The Portuguese speaker has never been able to talk to Tony Hawk in 10 years, and they've known each other the whole time. So it's a live, real-time Tony Hawk speaking English. It comes out in his voice cloned into Portuguese, and the Portuguese speaker hears him in real time, speaks back in Portuguese, and Tony hears it in English. And when they speak Portuguese, it's subtitled in English, and when they speak English, it's subtitled in Portuguese. That is just a brief taste of what Let's Chat can do. We own our own libraries. We own our own technology. This is a whole nother world than a lot of the other vendors. This is a whole separate animal, but we are applicable to every single person and every single client you talk to. A really massive announcement. Let's Chat just signed a massive global MSA with Comcast. So this isn't even public information. Comcast is a Fortune 30 company, and they're rolling Let's Chat out across all divisions of the company, which includes Comcast, Comcast Cable, Xfinity, NBC, NBC Sports. Let's Chat just signed a 3 Olympic deal with the Olympics. So we're doing all the Olympic broadcast and athlete interviews for the 24 Olympics in Paris, the 26 Olympics in Milan, and the 28 Olympics in LA. Right? So we do everything from audio to video to websites to applications to document translations. If you guys are doing, if you're recruiting people who don't speak another language, you can use Let's Chat. If you're sending them tax credit information, you can use Let's Chat. If you're trying to sign them up for LBA, for Medicare, Medicaid, if you're trying to get them in all that kind of world and they don't speak English, you can use Let's Chat. You guys see what I'm doing here? Every single business inside of Better, you can benefit from using Let's Chat for your non-English speaking audiences. We're rolling out across 5,000 school districts in Q1 for students to be able to learn in their language. We can add some of our technology onto every computer in a school, and that computer is automatically available in 104 languages. Every website, every audio book, every course content, etc. We're working with Better right now behind the scenes to have all of your personal websites have Let's Chat on them. All of the Better content, all of the Better training content available in your language. So that's what we do. The commission is very big. It's residual for the life of the client. We just signed a massive Better contract coming. It's booked, as Jeff said earlier. It's booked. It'll be paid out start paying out in Q1. It's with one of the biggest real estate companies in the country. They have over 20,000 agents that are rolling out Let's Chat on their back office. All of their listings will be available in 104 languages so that any buyer can view their listings in all the detail in their languages. So we got massive government contracts coming in through Better. We got X Games coming in through Better, a ton of other stuff. I wanted to keep it 5 minutes. That was 5 minutes on the nose, Curtis. That's it. What else? You got a question? Ask it.
Hey, that's right. And we'll get all the questions later. Here's the thing, guys. I hate that we're already running out of time, but Kyle did an amazing job at taking all the amazing things that they're doing and nailing it in 5 minutes. So thank you very much for that. Guys, we are going to have trainings that we kick out over the next, couple days to week so that you guys have a chance to more intimately understand some of these things. But I know I need to get Jake Norman, our rep over here with Clearwater. Why don't you pull him in here really quick yeah, perfect. So guys, here's the thing. What we have available with Clearwater, I hate that we have to squeeze this in a small amount of time here, but guys, I want to respect your time. I told you guys we'd get you all out of here by 3:00. So Jake, why don't you tell them on the individual side just a couple highlights about why Clearwater is so exactly what they need in their lives and why it's such a great second sale on the direct to consumer side?
Yeah, great question. Well, honestly speaking, individuals don't have the opportunity to, use an HR department when they're searching for healthcare. And it's really difficult to try to navigate the complexities of the healthcare system because it hasn't gotten any simpler. It's actually gotten more confusing. And so one of the biggest things that we're seeing is, not only are we able to kind of create a clear path and provide expert consultations to individuals, but we also have a subset of plans that are saving individuals an average of $8,000 a year on their monthly fixed costs alone. And on top of that, we see that the healthcare system is not only increasing fixed monthly costs, but they're also increasing the out-of-pocket costs that members have to pay before they're even able to hit their deductible or out-of-pocket max. And we're seeing that 47% of Americans cannot afford an MRI with the way that their plans are designed today. And we ultimately just don't feel right about that. And so a lot of the plans that we have in-house are plans that we provide that not only save people money on their fixed side, but when it comes to out-of-pocket costs, how would you like to have a zero cost option just by calling us and engaging with us so that we can partner with you in navigating your healthcare? How would you like a much lower out-of-pocket that you would have to pay in the event of something major? And so our company is designed to create an ecosystem of products and services that allow people to save money, not only on their monthly spend, but on their out-of-pocket spend, and provide them with better care. And along with that, when you're looking at individuals who are on employer-sponsored coverage, well, unfortunately, to have their family added to those employer-sponsored plans, we're looking at costs that go through the roof even for that family. So it's not even sustainable to have a spouse and children on an employer-sponsored plan when oftentimes all they're really doing is paying for a certain percentage of just the employee. And so we have unique and innovative solutions to allow, these dependents, spouse and children, to have a different option that could actually save them money. And now the overall monthly spend for that family has gone down significantly. And when we have business owners who are, actively working to contain cost and grow their business to scale, these cost savings are extremely significant. And so with individuals, not only do we have the opportunity to help those in your network, from real estate agents to solopreneurs, et cetera, but we also have the ability to provide better agents with a discounted rate to services that we have to offer with some of our products. And so when you're looking at what it looks like to join Better and what this could be, well, at a minimum, wouldn't you want to see if you could get even more discounted healthcare when you're, joining something that's free, doesn't require a license to be a part of, or doesn't require a license to refer? What we're seeing here is that people are starting to refer more and more. We've hit a really huge increase in an influx in referrals just in this open enrollment period. And one of the reasons why that is because searching for health insurance, to be honest with you, is probably the last thing that an individual wants to do next to like cleaning their toilet. So, when we can do something to make it really simple and really easy for them to understand, so they don't have to spend days looking through thousands of different plans, it's a huge value add to them because it saves them time and they can go on doing what they do best, which is running their business or being with their family, etc. And they can rest easy knowing that they're saving a great deal of money through us.
Beautiful. And I know that we have really enjoyed this partnership with you guys so far. And we're doing so many more things to expand it. And frankly, since we're already talking on this topic, why don't we get JT in here to talk about the business side of it? Just because, we're talking about the same company, but we are really talking about two completely different services in that businesses need a different an entirely different approach than an individual does. And I want you guys to understand JT has specialized in nothing but this for years. So he knows this world backwards, forwards, inside out. And I couldn't be more excited for someone to give us. And again, we're not going to be ending in 2 minutes. Let's be honest. JT won't even finish in the next 2 minutes, but we are going to get you guys out of here as soon as humanly possible. But JT, why don't you just tell us, does someone need to understand everything about the nuances of a company health plan in order to add this to what they're already doing? Or is this something where, you guys take the majority of the lift? Oh, you're muted. Oh,
there we go. To answer your question, hello, Better team. Always great to speak with you guys. To answer Curtis's question, no, we handle everything. There's a lot of complexities. I have a team of licensed benefit advisors that are some of the best in the country at working with employers to help them navigate through the complexities of group health insurance. It's interesting. Greg at Jorns and Shane, they brought up a couple of good things that I wanted to really get you guys to think about. Health insurance is complex. It's expensive. In fact, it's the number 2 largest expense an employer has next to payroll. And the thing is, we're all feeling the impact of inflation, right? Do you guys know the rate of inflation for group health insurance is not like the inflation we see? It's more like 12 to 15% a year. This is something that companies can't budget for. They're looking for more and more options. And if you look at it, they have only 4. They have Blue Cross Blue Shield, United Healthcare, Cigna, and Aetna. We call them the BUCAs. And unfortunately, these are like the old banks. They haven't updated their systems. They're not offering anything innovative. They're not cutting back their prices. And so we decided to do something here at Clearwater and really say, we can do health insurance in a new, fresh, better way that not only serves the employer, but also their employees. One of the things that hit me was that, you can be really savvy as a better agent when you're speaking to these employers and taking this ERC credit that you're giving to them and saying, hey, we know one of your biggest expenses is employee benefits. This is one of your biggest costs. Wouldn't it be amazing if you could take this credit we're giving through your ERC, but not only applying it to the cost of your health plan, but let's save you 15 to 20% on your health plan on top of that. This is going to make you even more valuable as a business advisor and consultant to these companies if you're not only bringing in these ERC credits, but you're offering them a health plan that's going to save them 15 to 20% just off the top alone. Additionally, we have, like Jake was saying, we have a zero deductible, zero co-insurance plans that no other company in the country has. What does this mean? This helps employees at the point of care. One of the biggest things that people have, problem with health insurance is not only do they spend thousands of dollars of premium a month or a year, but then they have to spend thousands of dollars a year on the actual co-insurance and out-of-pocket expenses. So what if you can offer them not only ERC credits, 15%, 20% reduction in premiums, zero deductible co-insurance? And let me tell you this, we're doing this on the largest national PPO network in the country. This is real insurance. This is the giving them the access to care to some of the best doctors and hospitals in the country, reducing their out-of-pocket expenses, protecting their family's income, and saving companies a ton of money. Additionally, I'm just going to give you this idea: commissions. I mean, we're all here to help people. We're also here to make money, right? Commissions. We're talking price tags. If you just give me an idea, a group of 10 employees has a health insurance premium of over $200,000. 50 employees has well over a premium of over $1 million. Most of these price tags that we're talking about are major 6, 7, and 8-figure costs that employers have every year. What we're saying is we have a new commission schedule with Better that if you're licensed or non-licensed, that could generate you guys tens and thousands of dollars in commissions a month. And I want you guys to look at this because we're the only health plan in America right now that's offering the highest access to care with some of the lowest premiums on the market and really some of the best benefits to families and individuals out there right now. It is super easy to work with us. My team handles it. All you guys have to do is just act like the business advisors and offer the value that you guys are already doing and saying, hey, I can help you with one of your biggest expenses you have all year, and your employees are going to be thrilled.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And here's the thing, guys. What we're going to do here is I want to make sure that you get all the value you can. And while I would love to have each of these guys come on and speak for 10 minutes, 30 minutes each, we obviously don't have the time to do that. So we will, again, I just want to reiterate this. We're going to set up individual trainings. Also, guys, when we get through, I'm going to have the next couple speakers, again, come in and talk very briefly about what we've got going on with them. But I'm just going to show you where you find training. There is a ton of training that's available for each and every one of these products. And we're going to have also live trainings this next week. So you have a chance to meet up with these guys right before the holidays, because I know that that's exactly what, everyone wants to be doing right before Christmas. But at any rate, JT, thank you so much for really enlightening people. Guys, it does not have to be a complicated process. Yes, health insurance for companies is complicated, but JT's team handles the complication. Okay, you make a quality referral, get them in the door, get them actually serviced there. So we're going to talk about one of the biggest problems in this country right now. My good friend at this point, Alex Lopez, is going to hop on, and he's going to tell you guys a little bit about really what they do to solve the debt crisis in America and what you guys have available at your disposal to help Americans out there really handle what is something that just ruins this time of year, especially, but ruins every part of their life. So, Alex, enlighten us. And, I know you'll do it quickly, but, especially quick.
Yeah. So just to break it down, obviously, the way Prosperity fits in, we do debt relief, we do federal student loan forgiveness, and we do credit repair. To be straight transparent, credit repair is very small because people have a misunderstanding what that is. So I'd say about 95% of the credit repair people actually go into debt settlement because they're carrying so much debt load. So the relationship with the Better works very well because it can be a primary sale or a secondary sale for a lot of you guys, right? So you think about this as a business owner myself, who was, I tell everybody very simple. When I did the program myself, it was $185,000 in debt. Starting a business, it crashing due to cancer, all that stuff. A lot of these things happen. How many business owners out there are putting everything on their personal credit because they can't get business credit yet? So now they have to make a decision. Do they go, under file BK personally? We put them in debt settlement, help them out there. You have clients, if you're financial services, if you're a real estate agent, whatever it may be. There's so many opportunities you guys can have to basically help these people just overall remove the stress, especially in the holidays right now. We have so many people that are using their credit cards right now, right, to basically just buy gifts for people. And we just want to change the way people speak. We're coming out with our free credit ebook, which I just got it finished up today, so it's done. Now it's going to go to design as far as getting it designed. It's going to be free for everybody, right? So you'll be able to send to your clients and get their email, the people that get it, be able to track it, because I want to make sure that you guys have the tools and resources that you need, because right now the pandemic is debt. We had $1 trillion in debt on July 23rd. I say it over and over again. People are using their credit cards, extension of their bank accounts. They're struggling, and it's getting worse. Why? Because I hear this all the time. It's my mom, example, makes very little money. Oh, what am I going to get you for Christmas? Nothing. Pay your bills so I don't have to. Right? That's the situation we're in, unfortunately, right? It's like a lot of you guys, I'm sure you'd rather your parents like not go into debt than worry about buying you a sweater for Christmas. So now is the time. Federal student loan forgiveness is such a problem right now. We were backed up before. Now we've doubled the workload we can take on. So that's huge. So if you submit a client for federal student loan forgiveness, they're getting contacted a lot faster, moving through the process a lot faster. And just overall, there's so much we're going to be doing. We're releasing every piece of social media we've done for the last 5 months will be available to Better to be able to use, put your picture on, put your information on, and be able to use it. We're doing the free credit, we're doing the credit course. It's going to be free. And then, we'll do a video series along with that as well. So everything that we've been doing for the last month, I'd say 30 days, a lot of my time has been to content, we haven't done the creation yet, but all the layout for content, everything we do, I literally have everything here from Testimonial Tuesdays, Tip of the Day, Success Stories Saturdays, Mythbuster Mondays, Did You Know series, interactive Q&A, behind the scenes success tips, before and after stories, and weekly challenges. That's everything we're working on for content right now. The book is a 28 page single space 12 point font right now that I wrote in about 9 hours. It took about an extra week to get taken care of. We're releasing the do-it-yourself debt settlement program. And at the end, it says, if this is too much, give us a call. We will take care of you. The whole point, we want to disrupt how everybody, Better's disrupting the industry. So why don't we disrupt the industry? I know some information about some competitors out there that they're not doing as good as they're making everybody think they are. Why? Because they're not being transparent, right? They don't have the Better outlet on how to communicate with clients. They don't have everything that we have to do. And on top of that, my belief, very simple, that they don't have us. I live my life on transparency. You guys know, I don't always speak proper, and I don't really care because I speak from my heart every single time. And that's what we do with PFN. We're speaking with your family, your friends, your cousin, your sister, whoever it is. Just know they're getting taken care of properly by people that actually care. So I'll shorten my time, Chris, so we can kind of get it moving. But obviously there's a lot of things coming down, especially first quarter of the year that we're working on. Third quarter of next year, I won't release now, but we've got some pretty exciting things that I'm working on. It's going to take that long to get it there, but it will be game changing for the entire industry.
That's awesome, Alex. And, and it is a shame that, we're not able to give you an entire hour to talk about everything that you guys are working on, because you really are doing some amazing things. So thank you so much. But again, like I was saying earlier, we'll set up a specific training so you can dive in with everyone, and we'll let everyone else know. So guys, the last speaker that we're going to hear from today is someone that almost every one of you has not heard from, probably. And it's actually the next partner that we're bringing onto the Better platform. And I've had a while to get to know this particular partner, because we were actually interested in bringing them on almost day one. And just with the maturity of the audience that they work with and us needing to establish a bit more, we found that now is actually a bit of a better time to introduce them to you. And we all know that the health crisis in this country, especially for companies, is massive. Some of the information JT was sharing earlier is highly applicable. The fact of the matter is that companies are paying more and more every year for the same or less benefit. And we don't like that. So we are bringing into the platform a company called StrongSide Solutions, and they specialize in companies 300 employees and greater, up to, call it, 30,000 employees. So really, sky's the limit in terms of what size company you can bring in to have their team really come in and assist. So I have the pleasure of introducing Wendell Strickland, who is a wonderful individual, just an absolute breath of fresh air to work with him and his team, and the absolute professionalism that they bring to the table, and the pedigree of even clients that they've already worked with is a testament to how valuable they will be to our platform. So Wendell, I know that we're going to do an official launch in the next week or two here, but why don't you just give guys a little bit of an understanding of what makes you guys so special?
Well, thank you, Curtis. Thank you, Jeff. Everybody, I'm honored to be among this crew. I've been watching this better ecosystem grow. And I'm pleased and I'm proud to be part of this. And there's a lot of good things coming. But I did hear that there was a mantra of fun first. So I said, let's don't be the big tooth fish, let's take action. So there's my I keep these on my table. When some of my employees do something, sometimes I question, I go, you're a big tooth fish. So anyway, I thank you guys. Yeah. So, StrongSide Solutions has been around a long time. We are everything benefits for large employers. We talk about employers with 300 people on the insurance plan and up. We have, 5,000, 10,000 life counties. We do municipalities. We do cities. We do private employers. We do public employers. We do most sectors of employers, and we do it all across the United States. And so it's been a real pleasure for me. It's the third company I've built. And if you want to talk about success stories, I've got some to share at some point in time. But, I think maybe for your team here, we'll start with the money first. If you guys are looking for meaningful, stable, multi-year compensation, large employers where it's at, and it's actually easier to sell up market. It's a facade. You think that, oh my gosh, somebody with 300 employees or 5,000 employees, but you run into, in the small market, you run into my cousins, my broker, my uncles, my whatever, and you don't get that up market. You get financially based, good decision-making, sound decision-making that they really depend on us being able to provide richer and better benefits for the employees is much more important sometimes than savings. We have a very unique approach. We have a foundation. We gave away $30 million last year and paid for people's medical bills. And we have pharmacies on 5 continents and 3 in the United States. And we ship medications all around the world and control drug costs. And so it's a great solution. I can't wait to put it on your platform to talk about it more. Curtis, what else should I know we're running out of time and I'm last. I'm probably the only thing between somebody and something else. So what do you want to hear?
Well, and Wendell, you've covered the highlights, and I think it's important for people to understand that, to your point, we're not in this market of beat down the cost of a plan, because especially when it comes to a large employer, over 300 employees, they know this cost. Maybe they don't like the concept that they're paying that much, but they know it. So you've covered some of the points on how you bring more value. Is there anything else to that you think is just a highlight that should be communicated? Otherwise, I think there's a lot of people who are just going to be waiting with bated breath for us to actually bring this in and launch it.
Well, I don't know. I think I'll close with this. The average client brings in compensation $20,000, and we keep a client for an average of 9.5 years. So every client you close is worth, $200,000 to you, and that's the smallest size that we get involved in. And so I'll leave it with that. I think there's a lot of education. There's just a lot of information. There's probably a lot of questions, and we're welcoming the opportunities and would love to have the opportunity to speak to each and every one of you.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Wendell. And yeah, I don't think that we need to dive into all the nitty gritty. We'll have a full training for everyone so they have a chance to see this. This one's going to be a little bit different, guys. This is a licensed product. So you are going to have to be licensed to refer this. Now, the sales cycle can be a little longer. So you might have a chance to introduce a client and then get licensed in the meantime. But you might want to think about that. You might, if you don't already have a health license and you already know that you have this kind of connection, get on top of it, get ahead of the game. But otherwise, this is also going to be one where, since we're talking about big employers, you have to have the right connections. And we are talking about, CEO, CFO. But if you have those connections, this is a massive opportunity. So Wendell, no, I think for right now, thank you so much. Just for people to be able to see you is probably, a good start, and get to know you a little bit. I know that I've had the pleasure of getting to know you recently. So thank you so much. Here's the thing, guys. I want to bring this thing to a quick wrap here, but I do want to show you guys one or two things because I think it's very important before we hop off here. Jet, I'm just going to screen share on my side so that they can see that. But here's the thing, guys. There's a lot of things that we've been working on in the back end, and I'm not going to just show you everything that we're working on that's not quite done. I don't want you to. Here's the thing. A lot of people get in the habit of getting excited, so excited about the things that are coming that they don't do the things right now and wait. So I don't want you to do that, okay? But the things that I will show you really quickly, I'm going to show you some of the fundamentals that you already likely know. So if you are out there going, this is perfect, I want to distribute Clearwater, I want to send a referral over to Top Notch or Jorns, you just scroll down a little bit right here to your personalized links and then pull your link from one of these companies, okay? Your Let's Chat links are there. Your PFN links are there. Your Jorns link is there. All of these links are here in one place, right at your fingertips. So you don't have to go far in order to do that. If you want to get some resources, you can go to the resource page and learn about, oops, let me go back over there. You go over to your resource page. You can see how much you're going to get paid. You can then see the ideal characteristics of a referral. You can, again, grab your personalized links. You can see the compensation plan. You can get a bunch of FAQs. All of these things are resources right at your fingertips. We are doing a lot of work to expand the tools and resources. So that is going to be coming to you guys soon here. We're going to do a lot of work to expand your trackability of your leads. We're doing a lot of work to increase the amount of reports you can run, because let's face it, guys, we are running a business. The more you run it like the business, the more it'll pay you like a business. So you should be paying attention to where clients sit in their journey as a client and make sure that you actually push them through that journey and make sure that the clients are getting serviced well by those companies. So you need to be that a little bit of that, that hawk paying attention to exactly where these clients are so you can make sure they get serviced well. Okay. But here's some other pieces here. If you go into resources, you can go Better Income Academy, okay? And that will feed you over to the Better Network. And you're seeing something here that is, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I'll show the course material. Obviously, you have all your training resources right here. You see courses and chats. That's going to be right on the sidebar for you. We've got courses and chats for each of these. You might be wondering, what is he talking about with this chats? So you are going to see this roll out here. Dan Ebert's laughing at me. That's awesome. But you are going to see roll out here and call it the next 24 to 48 hours. Chats open up in here for each of these product partners. And the reason for that is some of you guys have been well utilizing these Facebook chats, but little did we know, Facebook threw us a little curveball, and those chats are only available for like half of Facebook's users. So most of you guys can't even get in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to move all the chats over to the Better Network because they've got a great little chat tool. We've even got some people in here asking questions already, bitching and complaining about partners not doing their job, which is fine. That's exactly what this is for, guys. This is where you go and say, hey, I need help. Where do I find training? What am I doing next? Get your answers in here. Our support team will be in there helping you, but also we are a community. Help each other out, okay? So that's what these chats are going to be there for. You are probably seeing, if you've already jumped into some of these on these courses, you are probably seeing some greatly improved quality courses, specifically from Clearwater. I'm working with each of these other partners to give you guys much, much more concise, to the point training that will get you guys exactly the information you need in a much more timely fashion. So these are coming soon. You are going to see in the next week or so here, this course, the onboarding course, jump up 10,000 times, make it much, much better for you guys. So there's a lot of things in here. You're going to have better resources across the board. We're streamlining everything. You're going to have better tracking. Guys, it's only getting better by leaps and bounds. But here's the thing. If you don't go out there and do massive action, Omar Periu nailed it on the head, guys. If you're not out there doing massive action every second of the day, who cares about the resources? Why do you care about the resources? If you're not using them, you're not using them. Us shooting a whole bunch of videos that you don't end up using doesn't benefit anyone. So you guys have to get out there and take massive action. There's just a little bit of like an ending here. I think if you want to replay in your own head Jeff's little intro message there and flip it on its head, it'd be the perfect close for everyone here. So I'm going to take a couple pieces of that and reiterate to you right now. If you are not growing, in many respects, you're dying, because I want you to understand this. Just like think of inflation on the money side. Inflation happens every single year. So if you're not growing your income, you're actually losing money. It's the same in business. It's the same in life. If you are not expanding how effective you are in your own business. If you are not increasing value to your customers, guess what? Someone else is, and they are going to start eating your lunch. So I challenge every single one of you to up your game, to get better at what you do with your own business. Here's the thing. Someone mentioned it earlier. We don't care if you focus entirely on better. If you find something better, go. Tell us about it, please, because we are in the greatest country in the world, and that is built upon a free market. We have the ability to go and come as we please if we find something better. And that's why you are going to see, as we push through this, more partners that really are a duplicate of another partner. Why? Because if you don't feel like you've had great service with company A, we want you to be able to go to company B. That's the way that it should work. Think of how the world has evolved. Think of back in the day. You know, I remember when I went to New York a number of years back, and there were no Ubers. But now, you know, do you call a taxi? Do you just call an Uber? Think of, you know, the hotel industry. Airbnb has come in and disrupted every single bit of that industry. Think of retail. I was driving back from Destin. It's a town down on the Gulf Coast down in Florida, and we were driving through a couple of these small towns, and it was quite astounding at how many of these companies their doors are shut forever. These small little towns with these little retail shops that probably back in the day, well before Amazon, were thriving. Do not be those small retailers that become irrelevant. Get ahead of the game. Be Amazon, be Airbnb, be Uber, be that disruptor in your industry. Better is on the cutting edge at all times, trying to find ways to provide more value to you as the referrer, as the rep, but how to find more value for that end consumer, for your clients, for these businesses. Guys, businesses are struggling to keep their doors open. The solutions we have on this platform right now are game changers. Mike Mannon was talking about a company that if they didn't get that $1 million ERC credit, they would have closed their doors. Good. That's where we're at. Companies are struggling. Don't be the ones that struggle because you fall behind. Find ways to add more value to the clients that you, I'm sure, do a great job in your core focus, but always do a better job. Always get out there and help them live a better life. Live a better life yourself. Figure out ways to do more, provide more value in less time. So you can either provide more value or you can spend some of that time with your family. Guys, it's all about creating that better life for yourself and those around you, okay? Do not fall behind. Always be on the cutting edge. We promise we will do everything in our power to provide you a safe environment to add additional services to what you already have going on, but it's up to you to do the work. We can't do it for you. We will do everything in our power to make it easy on you guys. I hear people bitching and complaining that this thing doesn't work and that thing doesn't work. Well, guess what, guys? You know what? Things are never going to be perfect. It's about you guys being diligent and, you know, letting us know when something gets broken, because our team will fix it all but immediately. But then otherwise, get out there and don't let anything be an excuse for lack of massive action on your part. Go out there. The important thing is you are to end this year with massive action so that you can go into 2024 with massive momentum. People who decide to just take their foot off the starting line January of 2024 after they've been sitting on the couch doing nothing, guys, they're not going to run as fast of a race as someone who's going into the race of 2024 with massive momentum. Okay, so I challenge you guys right now. Have December be your biggest month that you've ever had, not just in Better, but in what other core, you know, focus you have going on, whether you're a financial advisor, PNC, whether you're a business broker, who cares what you're doing? Have December be the biggest month you've ever had and roll into 2024 a better you, a bigger business, more impact, okay? That is our challenge from the team here at Better, is to end this year strong, go into 2024, make it the greatest year you've ever had. I'm sure I'll see some of you guys on, you know, Wisdom Wednesday next week before Christmas. But if I don't see any of you guys before this holiday season, have an absolutely amazing holiday break, whether, you know, you're going to spend some time with family, or you're going to be spending some time grinding. Whatever you're doing, have an absolute amazing holiday break here. And from all of us at Better, thank you for everything you're doing, everything you've done. But more importantly, thank you for everything that you're going to do. With that, I say we wrap this thing. Thank you for sticking around for an extra 26 minutes. We will get the recording out to everyone, and we will make sure that, this year is nothing but spectacular. Thank you so much. And